What is going on, crypto people? Listen, most people think Ripple's big play was just launching a stablecoin. They have no idea that behind the scenes, Ripple pulled off a $1.25 billion acquisition that connects Wall Street's $3 trillion trading flow directly, directly to the XRP ledger. This isn't hype. This is infrastructure. And if you hold XRP, you need to understand what just happened. My guy, Mickey B. Fresh, broke it down in the video. I'm going to cover it today with you guys. I did a thread post around. There's bigger plays going on here than I think what most of us realize. Pookie Pookie, welcome to the live stream, my friend. Appreciate you checking in this evening. I know it's Talk That Talk Thursday and all, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about, I don't know, is there a rift between between Elon and President Trump? I don't know. Maybe we'll get into that as well, because it is Talk That Talk Thursday. You know what I mean? What's going on, Rupert? How are you, bro? Appreciate you checking in this evening. Happy again, Talk That Talk Thursday to each and every one of you. The market is it's doing what the market does. Bitcoin, what, 102 now? 102,000 now? It is what it is. But listen, Mickey B. Fresh laid out some stuff in this video. I gotta tell you guys, I was like impressed. Really, it was a couple of things, I didn't think about. He laid it out in his video. I'm gonna share my thoughts, the thoughts I came up with and from X, but it's in reference to that video. That is the source. Mickey B. Fresh on YouTube. You definitely want to check that guy out for sure. Laid out some really, really interesting stuff. And maybe I'll play a clip or two from that video as well. But exciting stuff. And then you throw on what Flare Networks is doing. That's another thing. Both of these things, right? Like the one phrase that he used that I loved in that was it 30 minutes? 30-minute video. I think it was 30 minutes. Was on-chain ecosystem. They were building out an on-chain ecosystem, Pookie Pookie. And that's what we talk about. The move was coming on-chain. That was the move, coming on-chain. You know what I mean? So yeah, and they're doing it in a very interesting way. And there was a couple of parts in there from Mickey B. Fresh that I thought, what? What? I was like, man, what? I was like, what? What's going on, the real big Will? How are you, my friend? Appreciate you checking in. Pookie Pookie says, CJ, you over there glowing. Haha, yes, indeed. This is some good stuff. I gotta tell you, good stuff. So we're gonna get into that. I don't know if I'm wasting my time over here on this virtuals and this Genesis launches or not. I don't know. But anyway, that's why I've been the last 2 or 3 days trying to figure that out, Yeah, I thought it might be a nice play to bring to the community, bring it to the Patreon, then bring it to the community, but I'm not sold on it yet. We'll see. I got that Bruce Leroy glow. I hear you, my friend. So we're gonna get into some stuff here. Again, this market, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That'd be really, really awesome. Market again is just doing what the market does. We'll cover the numbers, but it's it's Talk That Talk Thursday. I don't know. Maybe we'll discuss a little bit of this Elon Musk and President Trump drama. Maybe we'll do that. Electronium is trending. What the world? Oh, 101,000. How about that? Interesting for Bitcoin. Yeah, we're getting close to that. Different dominance play. Do I have my dominance up? Yeah, we'll go over that as well. All right. So let me go over these numbers real quick, fam. Then we're going to get into the Mickey B. Fresh video, and then my post or the post in the video. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear and see how that goes. Refresh CoinGecko again. And looking like Bitcoin is at 101,000. We'll refresh it, and then we'll share, because sharing is caring. All right, let's do this real quick. Go over these numbers and figure out what's good. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That'd be really, really awesome. For sure. Appreciate you guys doing that. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. Let me see here. Share button. Yep. Man, I tell you what, it's a good day to be an XRP holder, an FLR holder for sure. And I'm hoping to say a Songbird holder. What's going on with my sharing screen right now? What's going on? There it is. There it is. All right. Let's do this real quick, Rupert. Let's do this real quick. Come on. Jesus. There it is. All right. So according to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap in the last 24 hours is down 6%. Yeah, it's down 6%. And it's currently at 3.28 trillion. 3.28 trillion, down 6% in 24 hours. Interesting. Bitcoin dominance, let's see where this stands. Get the live Bitcoin dominance from TradingView. Probably right around 64%, huh? Probably right around that. Just waiting on the trusty laptop. That's all. Just waiting on the trusty laptop. Come on. Messing up my mojo here. Oh my gosh. I don't know why this does this. Come on, peoples. I don't have much going on here. I don't have much going on here at all. I don't know why it's not cooperating. Oh boy. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Uh, 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 uh. 64.5% for the Bitcoin dominance. That's just about right. 64 and a half. Kind of feels like a long ways away from, breaking 50%, reaching the 45% so that we can start looking into the altcoins. It's kind of feeling a ways away. Kind of feeling a ways away. Uh, let's see. Oh, that's what it's feeling like to me. It's feeling like a ways away. I'm trying to get this thing to cooperate here. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That'd be really, really cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. Pay me an XRP is in the building. What's going on, bro? How are you? Here in the counter four, rolling through Oklahoma. Shout out to the chat seats. Thank you, my friend. By the way, did you guys, when you hopped on, did you see like a live chat summary of the current live stream that's going on? Did you guys see that? All right. So, yeah, Timmy, I mean, this again, this hit and roll thing, we're gonna cover it. Is fascinating to say the least. Um, Shout out to my guy Mickey B. Fresh for sharing this. It was, yeah, it was very enlightening. I got to tell you. Did you guys check that video out from him? It was really, really good. I just got to tell you, really, really good. Got the spinning going on. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, yep, 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 yep. I might have to go to record a video.
You mentioned Hidden Road earlier, the acquisition. I think about 1.25 billion on that. Yes. Is that an indication that Ripple's going to be more acquisitive going forward now? Yes. Good. So we can expect some more M&A to come. Yes, more exciting things. Yeah. Sure. I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, I think 1.25 billion marks it as one of the largest in crypto history. Being a crypto company, we stand alone as being an owner of a non-bank prime broker. Yeah. And yeah, the Hidden Road, like, I'm so bullish on having this tight, like, under one roof partnership at this point between a company that serves like hundreds of the highest volume trading financial institutions with our business where we could be more of the blockchain tech infrastructure. And for them, I mean, they do $3 trillion annually. Revenue is super healthy, 100 million plus, and they can now get more risk capital in our balance sheet, so they can also grow their business exponentially.
Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey Fresh. The following Ripple's blockbuster acquisition of Hidden Road Prime Brokerage. Hidden Road received a FINRA broker-deal license, and this could prove transformative, especially in the context of a dramatically changed U.S. regulatory landscape. The Trump administration's aggressive deregulatory campaign, backed by fresh executive orders that promote open blockchains, dollar-denominated stablecoins, and the tokenization of real-world assets, has swung the pendulum decisively in the favor of crypto innovation. And with former SEC Commissioner Paul Atkins, a market libertarian reformer, elevated to SEC chair and recently sworn in, many of the prior regime's roadblocks are being dismantled as we speak. Ripple is now armed with a broker-dealer license and a suite of strategic acquisitions that can leverage the 2025 environment to dominate the intersection of Wall Street and Web3. The Trump era pivot from war on crypto to America, the crypto.
So anyway, that's my guy Mickey B. Fresh. Let me share. You guys make sure you check out this video here. XRP gets supercharged. Ripple and Hidden Road ignite institutional liquidity. Very, very, very telling video. And if you're not subscribed, definitely go out there, check them out, and subscribe to that channel for sure. Let me share my post. It's kind of a summary of this 31-minute video with you guys I did on X. Share it. It's a big deal. It's bigger than when I originally thought. It's bigger. It's even bigger than that. But let me see if I can't find my thread. Anybody have any thoughts on why Elon Musk and President Trump are apparently at odds with one another? Apparently. Let me see. Let me find the original post. Here it is here. Just share it with you guys because I thought this was fascinating. Ripple just flipped the script on global finance. What looks like just another crypto acquisition is actually a foundational play. Welcome to Prime Brokerage 2.0. Let's break it down. Ripple acquired Hidden Road, a $1.25 billion. I know I did a video or two about this before, but there's some more insight that I gathered here. Ripple acquired Hidden Road, a $1.25 billion prime brokerage that clears $3 trillion annually. That's not bullish. That's historic. With it comes a FINRA broker-dealer license. The translation, Ripple now owns Wall Street's on-ramp. Ripple now owns Wall Street's on-ramp into crypto. This FINRA license lets Ripple underwrite securities, launch ATS, the alternate alternative trading systems, tokenized T-bills, trade like Goldman Sachs, but settle on chain in seconds. This is the legal infrastructure Coinbase tried to get. You all guys remember when they tried to get that broker, right? And failed to get. Ripple just leapfrogged them. Ripple's full stack is now vertically integrated. Broker-dealer, Hidden Road, New York Trust Charter. Forgot about standard custody, with the drama all around, the other thing. Stablecoin issuer with the RLUSD, tokenization platform, an automated market maker, AMM, plus the decentralized exchange, the DEX, right, with the XLS30D passing and implemented. The EVM sidechain is launching soon. And the XRP ledger equals the foundation. It's TradFi meets DeFi. So a couple of things. I forgot about the standard custody thing. Forgot about that. Of course, I'm sure we didn't really forget about Medico. Medico is a big deal. But the whole thing with PolySign and all that, kind of overlook that. But they do got a New York Trust Charter, right? Standard custody. The EVM sidechain launching soon, maybe, but hopefully by the end of 2025. Maybe that'll be a way for institutions or whatever to get on an EVM play and still take advantage of the XRPL with the help of the Axelar integration, right? And just in time, the 2025 regulatory climate is flipped. Pro-crypto Trump executive order. SEC Chair Paul Atkins, pro-crypto. No CBDC. No to CBDCs, but yes to private US dollar stablecoins. That's great for, that whole dollar thing that people, want. Tech neutral rules. Interesting. Safe harbor plus sandboxes. The door is open. And Ripple walked through first. Why this matters. Ripple now offers hedge funds and banks a compliant path to post tokenized treasuries as collateral. Get instant US dollar liquidity by way of the Ripple dollar stablecoin. access institutional DeFi pools, earn TradFi yield, but with blockchain speed. That's why I'm saying Prime Brokerage 2.0 is here. They can custody, tokenize, underwrite, and trade financial products, all in-house under US compliance. And the XRP ledger, now capable of hosting structured notes. We talked about that, right? With the receipts depository corporation, smart escrow plus programmable funds, on-chain repo markets. This isn't a side chain stunt. This is the main stage. Solana had speed. Ethereum had developers. Ripple now has banks, prime brokers, which really is the XRPL, has banks, prime brokers, FX corridors, compliance, a stable coin, and soon a fully programmable finance stack. And soon, right? We get that small measure of programmability on the ledger itself, right? The XRPL is becoming the new Swift, but composable. Right now, Ripple can do now what Morgan Stanley does, but on a ledger that finalizes trades in seconds, runs 24/7, costs fractions of a cent, integrates with 80 plus chains on Axelar or by way of Axelar. This is how crypto wins without asking for permission. Permissionless, baby. And one more thing. Hidden Road plus Ripple equals a bridge from TradFi to DeFi. Tokenized T-bills as collateral, on-chain AMMs for yield, whitelisted DEX for compliance, smart contracts with real-world utility. Ripple isn't just moving money. They're moving the system. They're moving the system. If this excites you, wait until you see what's coming. And I put the source here as my guy, Mickey B. Fresh. In this video here, you definitely want to check it out. If you want to, it's only 30 minutes. Grab your favorite cup of libation or glass bottle of libation and check it out. It is well worth the read. It's a way for us all to level up, right? It's important that we understand what it is that we're doing here, right? We want to level up. We want to de-risk ourselves. And this is one of the ways that we do it, by leveling up our knowledge and IQ about what it is that we hold and what it is that we're in and what is really going on with the bigger picture. And I got to tell you, Mickey B. Fresh laid out some really interesting things that I was like, what the world? What? I never thought about that. What the world? What? I never thought about that. Yeah, it was really, really good. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That'd be awesome, awesome, awesome. And if you didn't get a chance to do so yet, no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick. Go smash the like, and then come back and hang out with the Crypto Siege and family. Let me welcome some more people to the stream. Who else checked in here? Got the real big Will, Puka Payment XRP. Dr. XRP Mister, what's going on, my guy? How are you? Not sure if I remember you checking in, but I appreciate you being here. Enjoy your live streams. Keep it up, my man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you checking in. Rupert checked in. What's good, my guy? Keyless, the lady of crypto, is in the building. There you go. Keyless says, support the channel. Support the channel with Old Money Doesn't Want You to Win merch. There's a link right there if you want to grab you. If you want to grab you some of that Old Money Doesn't Want You to Win merch, make a stand, show that you're part of that movement. They trying to get over on us, but we know it's good. We know it's good, Keyless. Mix is in the building. Which Mix said I'd get a hat, but it's 100% poly. Which hat, bro? I think it's more than one hat there, right? Let me know. Let me know. Are you talking about that? That's so funny. Let me know which hat you're talking about. Mix. Apparently. Yeah. Rupert said apparently there's a rift between Musk and Trump. You know, it could be theater for sure. Appreciate you checking in, Mix. Small business doctors is in the building. What's going on, bro? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. How you been? XRP5 with Flare. Remember, Ripple was a big investor in Flare via Ripple X. Yep. For their little investment arm. Do remember that. Do remember that. But I tell you what, small business doctor, was some interesting stuff coming from the Mickey B. Fresh camp today in that video that I watched. It opened my eyes to an even bigger picture. And it is going to be an ecosystem on chain. And that's what we talk about. We talked about them pivoting, right? Pivoting, adjusting some of their focus to on chain, right? Not giving up on payments, not saying that they lost their payments like the entertaining content creators always want to say, right? But they definitely shifted some of that focus to on chain. Rick Cisneros says, CJ, I have an assignment for you and myself. You and I need to understand perpetual future. This is going to clear to the way. This is going to be clear to the way for decentralized prime broker, which is going to change everything on Wall Street, right? What do you mean? Learning more about perpetuals and those leverage plays? Is that what you're talking about, bro? I'm always open to learning more. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button on the way in. That'd be super cool. Awesome, awesome. This is a big time play. Again, Mickey B. Fresh opened up my eyes to some different things. I mean, just imagine being able to do what Goldman does, what Morgan Stanley does, but have it finalized and settle on chain. I think, maybe we thought that this whole thing, maybe we were focused on the lending and, the XLS 65 or 66D and lending protocol. But it's going to be bigger than that with this acquisition of Hidden Road. And it's going to be interesting to see the ecosystem build out because, in my opinion, the ecosystem building out is great for XRP holders, right? Because we want network adoption. And ecosystem means there's more than one person on the chain. There's more than one project, right? We want an ecosystem on chain, new wallets, new users, right? Uh, 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 uh. Keyless says, love the bucket hat, the crop tee, and the flow tank top. Oh, nice. Thank you, Keyless. Those are some unique things and fun, CJ. Thank you, Keyless. I appreciate that. The old money merch, straight fire. Good idea to include those. Crop tee and the flowy yank top. Yeah. Tank top. Yeah, yeah. And anyone have any other suggestions from some other looks they'd like to see? And I would definitely get that up. I am not sure. Pay me an XRP. Pay me an XRP. I am not sure who this guy is. Not really sure. Are you, Kevin Land? Are you selling things on the link? Yeah, that's old Kevin Land. What's going on, bro? Appreciate you checking it. Yeah, that's the old money doesn't want you to win merch that Keela shared. That's the old money doesn't want you to win merc, 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 merc. Let me see. Put another link here in the thing as well. Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate that, Kevin. Appreciate that, my guy. Legendary, what's up, my guy? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. So this is a big deal, right? This is a really, really, really big deal, for sure. Look, there's always gonna be people who don't understand, who ultimately don't understand how this market works, right? They just ultimately don't understand. And the challenge that we're always gonna have, no matter what, is we're gonna always have people who know the price of everything and the value of no thing. It's always going to be in the market. And you just have to deal with those. You just have to deal with those. You know? They know the price of everything and the value of no thing. It's a shame, but that is sometimes how it goes, right? So shout out to Mickey Be Fresh. I got to tell you, that video was really, really good. He laid out some stuff there that you just would never. I don't know why I just wasn't thinking about it. Oh, I guess can I let me see that. Let me see if I can do that. Can I? Oh, wait a minute. I can do it here, maybe. Yeah, pin. There it is. There it is, Keyless. Thank you. Now it's pinned. Oh, money doesn't want you to merch is pinned for sure. Thank you. That's a great idea, Keyless. Thank you. Oh, Kevin said if you click the link, yeah, you would probably have to copy that link and open up a new tab. If you're saying the video is stopping, you're talking about my video, right? Why don't you have a blue wrench payment XRP? We'll have to figure that. We'll have to solve for that one. We'll have to solve for that one. I didn't know you didn't have a blue wrencher, man. There it is. We'll change that. We'll change that for sure. There it is. Yes. So it's pinned to the top of the chat as well. Maybe that you can just copy the link, just copy it and then open a new tab. That should work for you, Kevin, for sure. But listen, it's bigger than what we think. It really is bigger than what most people think. And I think that's important to kind of note, to kind of understand. Let me do this. You gotta zoom out for sure. If you're not able to zoom out, man, it's tough if you can't zoom out, right? If you can only see the price of something without the value, you don't understand. You don't understand the market. Yeah, there it is. Keela says right clicking will give you the option to open a link in a new tab. There it is, right? And so it's important to understand that. So we're in a blessed situation. You're not getting market caps in the tens of billions of dollars for no reason. There's people that just don't understand. They don't get it, right? And so, but ultimately, going up and to the right of the network adoption curve that's the check mark. That's the winner. That's the winner. That's why Mickey B. Fresh said they're building an on-chain ecosystem. Look, what they're trying to do has never been done. It just hasn't been done. What they're trying to build on-chain has not been done. But don't get it twisted. Flare Networks is bringing a value to XRP holders that's around the corner. Ripple's got a long-term play. But this is around the corner. Remember all the things that need to be added to the XRPL. They got to go through this stuff. They got to go through this process. They got to go through these things. You understand what I'm saying? Flare is set up for that decentralized moment. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Did it work? Payment XRP? I gave you that blue wrencher thing. Did it work? Let me know if it worked. Marvin Davis. What's going on, Marvin Davis? How are you, bro? Let me share some Flare Network stuff with you guys. Because like my guys, small business doctors, look, that's right around the corner. This is right around the corner for XRP holders in a decentralized manner. And let us not forget, that they're building a decentralized prime broker. That is in the works, building out currently, a decentralized one. Why is that important? Why is that important, you think, that decentralized prime broker? It's important. Rid ourselves as much as possible of that counterparty risk. It's important. It's important. I was at dinner with some friends and business partners yesterday, sharing some crypto stuff and explain to them that, that counterparty risk is massive. there's this illusion of security and insurance, and he hadn't bought Bitcoin. I'm like, what's going on, bro? I'm trying to tell him. It's kind of part of risk. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can't find this thing. Hugo is on it. Hugo and Philly Networks, they're on it, and it's important to understand it. But this video from Mickey B. Fresh, when he said that on-chain ecosystem, when he said, they're positioning themselves to do the same things as Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, right? But in this XRPL is going to be at the heartbeat of that, is massive. We get a bunch of projects on that XRPL moving tons of stuff. It's going to be really, really, really valuable because of the ecosystem build, not just one project on the XRPL. We need an ecosystem, right? Let me see if I can't find it. Says here, Flare Networks posted this. Flare has multiple built-in incentive streams. You always know when, why, and how you are rewarded. And I wanted to share this other post. Is that with the Circle IPO and kind of like, what did they IPO in the wee hours in the evening or so? I don't know. Anyway. All right. So Flare Networks put this out. XRP, okay? XRP is one of the most established digital assets built on a strong foundation in payments and remittances. Now there's growing momentum to expand XRP into DeFi, and major players are taking notice. You understand? This is from Flare Networks, building out their own layer 1 EVM blockchain. Talking about an asset natively on another chain. Why? Because it's massive. It's a massive asset. Massive. And Flare Networks is bringing to XRP holders what the XRPL currently is not providing. Doesn't mean stuff isn't coming, but currently it's not providing, right? Major players are taking notice. But not all approaches are equal. Some dude on here talking about Doppler and some other thing. I was like, lessons learned. There's going to be some lessons learned. But not all approaches are equal. Some new projects are fully custodial and centralized. Trust me, I know the dangers. I know the dangers of that. It's not an ill-intended thing. They're not starting up something for the most part. They're not starting up something to harm, but it does bring risk. And everything is great until it ain't. Everything is great, Keyless, until it ain't great. Some new projects are fully custodial and centralized. One party controls the minting, burning, and smart contracts. And this is interesting. Everything in all capital letters. One party controls everything. No decentralization. No community involvement, and good luck withdrawing to Xamarin or Bifrost without extra fees and friction. Sounding the alarm, are you paying attention? At Flare Network, we offer users a different path. The F-Asset system on Flare facilitates non-custodial, over-collateralized bridging of XRP. Smart contracts enforce strict risk controls, and the system is kept honest by independent agents, liquidators, and challengers. Bridging is just the beginning. On Flare, XRP holders can lend, borrow, stake, and restake, and mint synthetic stablecoins. Like, are you paying attention to that? Sometimes they say those who would be first would be last, and those who would be last would be first. And if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's okay. It's okay. This is XRP 5, a new era of utility for XRP, powered by decentralization. Again, the thing I ask that $64 trillion question all the time. Whose approach to institutional DeFi do you resonate with most? Maybe it's 5941. Maybe it's whatever the other number is at 5941. Whatever is the closest to the closest. Right? 59, 50, 49, and 51. Maybe it's that. But which one, when it comes to your approach to institutional DeFi, they're both building it out. Flare Networks is building out something on Flare Labs, Flare whatever is building the layer one, and Ripple, the company, Ripple Labs, is building out something on the XRPL. Which one do you most align with? For me, I mostly align with what Flare Networks is building out. Doesn't mean I won't participate on the XRPL when stuff comes, but most aligned, definitely Flare Networks. I love this. This is XRP 5, a new era of utility for XRP powered by decentralization. And it can be done in a big way. And I just want you to get this part right. Now there's growing momentum to expand XRP into DeFi, and major players are taking notice. What's this? The Webull did a $300 million thing. I thought it was 100 million. Now it's 300 million. What's going on? Right? It's becoming bigger than what we originally thought. Austin King is, this company just filed for a $300 million XRP reserve. What's going on here? Why are companies doing this? Most people will see this and think it's primarily about price speculation, but that's not really the key thing that is happening here. The real strategy here is to latch onto these rapidly growing crypto networks to share in their growth. That's the play. Like, how can we say if Bitcoin was first and people are still running around talking about we're early, what does that mean for the XRPL? You understand, right? So if we're early to Bitcoin, what are we to the XRPL and the asset XRP? No, not yet. Yeah, maybe the market crashed a little bit. Right? You understand? The real strategy here is to latch onto these rapidly growing crypto networks to share in their growth. A large-scale transition. Businesses globally are starting to realize that crypto networks are likely to grow far faster than what they can achieve alone. I took a little snippet at VVPR, took a little snap, little taste. I don't know if the coin go up today because someone knew that they were IPO. I didn't know. I'm still going to cash out my coin. I'm still not going to keep it. I'm just not. Just not. All right. So businesses globally are starting to realize that crypto markets are likely to grow faster than what they can achieve alone. MicroStrategy turned them onto a game. So they're starting out by investing, but they're also building because it helps them. They're attaching themselves to the network, this growing ecosystem that is the new financial system. It's just a big win for companies once they wake up. They got to wake up. They got to wake up to what's going on. And they're starting to do it. That's why MicroStrategy went from him being the only one to a year and a half later, it was 10, and then 6, 8 months later, it was 73 companies. 73 with a Bitcoin strategic treasury reserve thing. I mean, like that. 3 years, 4 years, maybe at the tops. It's going to happen with XRP, and it's going to happen with Solana. But they're different. Solana and XRP are different game, different lanes, different. All right, so they're starting out by investing, but they're also building. This company, for example, is not only planning to create an XRP reserve, we already covered this, it also stated that it plans to improve its global travel product offerings by integrating RippleNet for international payments. We've seen something similar with Square, which built a Bitcoin reserve and is now rolling out BTC payment features. This is going to accelerate. More and more businesses want to integrate crypto to improve their products. The main problem is that 99% of companies don't have blockchain engineers in-house, so they don't have the technical expertise to benefit from crypto and stablecoins today. Austin King says, when I started my first company, the Interledger protocol, a lot of people don't know the dude created the Interledger protocol and sold it to Larson and Ripple. A lot of people don't know. Interledger protocol. A lot of people don't know. Anyway, when I started my first company, Interledger protocol was just a white paper. 2 years later, when I sold that company to Ripple, we had turned the protocol into a production grade network that businesses were relying on every day. The way we achieved growth so quickly with that business was by simplifying access. We didn't make our customers learn about the protocol, which a lot of people in the XRP community are, trying to teach people what the continuous auction mechanism is and how it works. We didn't make our customers learn about the protocol. We simply let them access the benefits of instant, global, cross-currency payments via the tools they were already using in-house, like JavaScript and AWS. At Omni, we're replicating this strategy, but going even further. We're making it easy to be on chain as it is to be on line here. The global financial system is being rebuilt. It's happening right in front of all of us. And with the new U.S. administration, the floodgates have opened. For the first time in history, governments across the world are establishing clear policies so that their banking systems and businesses can adopt these technologies. What technologies? These technologies. The Bitcoin blockchain, the XRPL ledger, the Solana blockchain, the Ethereum blockchain. And take advantage of the prowess for each individual chain wherever it's suited. This is what's happening, my friends. And it's pretty big. It's pretty big. I would share this news from this people called Stable, building out a layer 1, a stablecoin backed by Bitfinex and US dollar tether 0, but interesting. How many getting what I'm putting down here? This is a big deal. Let me see what else. I covered that. Yeah, I covered that as well. So this is good stuff. Mark says flare. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. I'm going to recap in case you guys missed me going over this thread of this big news and kind of the things we missed with Hidden Road. I'll cover that in a second for those who might have missed it. Joe Buddy's checking in. 110 million was the Saudi Prince thing. Correct. Are you suggesting that this weed thing and the Saudi thing is Vivo Power? Are you suggesting Vivo Power and this are two different things? Joe Buddy? Get them, pay me an XRP. Get them, Kevin Land. Any of you get that LEPAL card and what you think about it. I have not gotten that card. I have not. Anyone got the LEPAL card? I think he got the boot, Keyless. I think he got the boot. What's up, Joe Buddy? How are you, bro? Michael Rose says, love Flair. We do too, my friend. Appreciate you checking in. Guys, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you didn't get a chance to hit it on the way in, no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick. Go smash the like and come back and hang out with the crypto siege and family. By the way, if you happen to be interested in DeFi, right, and you want to learn fundamental foundations, not chasing APRs, join the Patreon. Patreon.com/golf whiskey mastermind. And you can join for free. Pinned to the top of that Patreon group is the 7 rules for entering a liquidity pool. You got to know these things before you chase APRs. That's the foundation for sure. And from there, you build your knowledge. From there, you gain strategies, techniques, and learn about different places to learn where you can go do DeFi, right? You can learn about more tools, new strategies, more techniques. But the fundamental foundation is in the 7 rules for entering a liquidity pool. And you can do that by, you can get that thing for free. Just join the Patreon. It's free at patreon.com/golf whiskey mastermind. If you're interested in the link, let me know in the chat and I'll give it to you guys. What we got going on? Michael Rose, what is the difference between staking FLR and Uphold versus staking FLR and Bifrost? The counterparty. The counterparty is the difference. If I had to choose one, certainly wouldn't tell you what to do, but I would definitely choose doing it on Bifrost, dealing with the validators, if you will, there. That's just my personal opinion. But I think that's the difference. Who is the counterparty risk? Are you talking about difference in what you earn? I would, yeah. All I can tell you, Michael Rose, is I use Bifrost. I use Bifrost. and yeah, so there's custodial stuff and there's non-custodial stuff, Michael Rose. There's custodial ways to get your FLR staked and there's non-custodial, right? Bifrost, non-custodial. Aaron Medina checked in. What's going on, bro? You're welcome, Michael. You're welcome, bro. That's right. Okay, well, there's Vivo Power. Vivo Power is with the Saudi prince. Joe. Vivo Power, right? Under the ticker VVPR. We covered that in the live stream. Vivo Power, 100 million thing to build that out. They're building infrastructure as well on the XRPL. So you're saying there's 2 different things. There's $300 million treasury. I thought it was you're gonna have to let me see something here. Let me see something. Let's get this announcement up. Let's check this out together. So Weebus is a separate thing. I thought I heard content creators say it got bumped from 100 million to 300 million. So I thought that Weebus was Vivo Power, but it doesn't look like it's not. All right, let me see something. Looks like it's 2 different things. So this is going to, yeah. Right? So that's looking like it's 2 different things. I just pulled it up and read it real quick. Rick Cisneros says, I use Bifrost too. There you go. Courtney, life, journey, and perception. What the world? Hey, Courtney, how are you? Appreciate you checking in. So let me cover this thread real quick for you guys. This is my summary of Mickey B. Fresh's awesome video of the Hidden Road acquisition and what it really means. Let me share it. Let me share this real quick, Rick Cisneros, for people who might have missed it from the beginning. Here it is right here. Ripple just flipped the script on global finance. What looks like just another crypto acquisition is actually a foundational play. Welcome to Prime Brokerage 2.0. Let's get into it. Ripple acquired Hidden Road, a $1.25 billion prime brokerage, most of us are aware, that clears $3 trillion annually. That's not just bullish, that's historic. With it comes a FINRA broker-dealer license. A FINRA broker-dealer license. Transition. Ripple now owns Wall Street's on-ramp into crypto. Let me say that again. Ripple now owns Wall Street's on-ramp into crypto. This FINRA license lets Ripple underwrite securities, launch ATS, tokenized T-bills, trade like Goldman, but settle on-chain in seconds. This is the legal infrastructure Coinbase tried to get and failed. Ripple just leapfrogged them. Ripple's full stack is now vertically integrated. The broker-dealer with Hidden Road, the New York Trust Charter, which I forgot about, standard custody, the stablecoin issuer, the RLUSD, tokenization platform, they're building that out, right? It's ideal, the ledger's ideal for that. The AMM plus the decentralized DEX. Remember that AMM is next level. It's not just another automated market maker. A lot of people want to think that. It is not. It is on another level, unto itself. Another level. Nothing out there like it. EVM sidechains launching soon. The XRP ledger, the XRPL, is the foundation. It's TradFi meets DeFi. And just in time, the 2025 regulatory climate has flipped. Pro-crypto Trump executive order. The SEC chair, Paul Atkins, is pro the digital asset space. We said no to CBDCs, but yes to private United States dollar stablecoins. Tech neutral rules. Tech neutral. Safe harbor plus sandboxes. The door is open and Ripple walked through first. Why this matters. Ripple now offers hedge funds and banks a compliant path. Hedge funds and banks. I know we did a long thread on this about a month and a half ago as well, but I got some added info here that I thought was important to share. Ripple now offers hedge funds and banks a compliant path to post tokenized treasuries as collateral. They get instant US dollar liquidity by way of the Ripple dollar. Access institutional DeFi pools. Earn TradFi yield, but with blockchain speed. And it's essentially Prime Brokerage 2.0. They can custody, tokenize, underwrite, and trade financial products. All in-house under United States compliance. And the XRP ledger is now capable of hosting structured notes, smart escrow plus programmable funds, on-chain repo markets. This is just some examples of some TradFi stuff. This isn't a side chain stunt. This is the main stage. Solana has speed. Ethereum had developers. Ripple now has banks, prime. It should be really the XRPL now has banks, prime brokers, FX corridors, compliance, a stable coin, and soon a fully programmable. Remember, we're gonna get just a light version of some type of WASM thing, right? And soon a fully programmable finance stack. The XRPL is becoming the new Swift, but composable. Ripple can now do what Morgan Stanley does, but on a ledger that finalizes trades in seconds, runs 24/7, costs fractions of a cent, fractions of a penny, not a penny or two or three or five, fractions of one. Integrates with 80 plus chains by way of XLR integration. This is how crypto wins without asking for permission. And one more thing. Hidden row plus Ripple equals the bridge from TradFi to DeFi. Tokenized T-bills as collateral. On-chain AMMs for yield. A whitelisted DEX for compliance. Smart contracts with real-world utility. Ripple isn't just moving money. They're moving the system. They're moving the system. Like my guy Jungle Inc. says, it's the play and what they're doing now is what they envisioned from the very beginning. Like button, really, really cool. We'd like to get just 296 likes on the stream. That would be awesome. We can get to 300. If we can get to 300 likes, that would be awesome. Awesome. I know we can get there, especially if you help. If you didn't get a chance to do so on the way in, no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick. Go smash the like button and come back and hang out with the Crypto Siege and family. XRPC, great thread on X, CJ. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Legendary says, I really like Bifrost. Very intuitive and easy to use. Yeah, the wallet is getting better and better. And by the way, don't forget Luminite. It's coming. Another wallet. That's coming. Don't forget Firelight Fi is coming for staking. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Zachary McDonald checked in. What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you checking in. You seem legit, bro. I'll give you a chance. I gave you a like and a follow. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. What does that say? Wick WIIVK8. What's going on, man? Very interesting times we're in. Knuckle up. Indeed. Look, this is again an ecosystem, an on-chain ecosystem. This is what we talked about from starting 2 years ago, that Ripple needed to focus on the ledger, take advantage of the prowess that is the XRPL. Right? Stop chasing banks, trying to give them something that they aren't interested in. Let's get on chain, do some stuff on chain with things they may be interested in, like the tokenization of everything. Let's do that. Let's hop on chain and get other people on the chain that benefits the XRP holders, growing the ecosystem, going up and to the right of the network adoption curve. That's what we need. That's what Solana did. That's what Ethereum did. If in a pinch you could potentially, Keyless ask, if in a pinch you could potentially send an asset there from an exchange better than keeping on an exchange. Yeah, I like Bifrost. I really do. I use Bifrost. I like them for sure. I'm a big fan of the Zaman wallet as well. And we're going to get this. We're going to have a look at what Luminite's going to bring to the table. And I think SparkDex is building out this Luminite wallet. So we'll see what that's going to look like. We'll see, it's hard to compete with Bifrost, but we'll see what they come up with. But apparently it's built by the SparkDex people, and I'm a big fan of SparkDex, the UI, UX, what they got going on there as well. But again, further along in bringing value to XRP holders. Do I need to read that again? Do I need to read this again? Let me read it again, because I think people don't understand what Flare Networks is building out for XRP holders, not Ripple stock holders, XRP holders. That's why we are here, for FLR holders, for Songbird holders, for XRP holders. Let me bring that up again. Share that from, who was that from? That was from Flare. Let me just go to their thing because I'll be scrolling down this thing for forever. Borrow caps for US dollar tether, wrapped ETH, and Flare ETH have just been raised. Remember, new borrow caps are often quickly reached. Man, it's 2 hours into this deal, man. Dang it. I wonder if we can do that live. All right, so let me read this again for new people that checked in. This is from Flare Networks. XRP is one of the most established digital assets built on a strong foundation in payments and remittances. Now, there's growing momentum to expand XRP into DeFi, and major players are taking notice. You remember Uphold just announced they're gonna be doing the staking thing. I believe they're gonna be doing the staking thing as well. Right? Partnered with Flare Networks, right? But not all approaches are equal, says Flare Networks. Some new projects are fully custodial and centralized. Fully custodial and centralized. One party controls the mint, everything, all capital letters. One party controlling everything. No decentralization. That to me is sounding the alarm. What do you want? No community involvement, and good luck withdrawing to Xamarin or Bifrost without extra fees and friction. At Flare Networks, we offer users a different path. The F-Asset system on Flare facilitates non-custodial, over-collateralized bridging of XRP. Smart contracts enforce strict risk controls. And the system is kept honest by independent agents, liquidators, and challengers. And you guys know my story. Maybe some of you don't know the story, but I was in 2 different platforms with XRP, taking advantage of lending, borrowing, yield, whatever it was. One was centralized, but they had customer service. They talked insurance. They had a CEO. They had a mouthpiece. They had marketing. They had, in fact, it was 24/7 customer service. They responded to your emails. They built an app, right? Famous CEO, all this different stuff, right? XRP. Over here, another one. It was smart contract. And then they had smart contract. And then they had smart contract. And they had smart contract. And when the market crapped, hit the fan, people got exposed. Smart contract got exposed. The centralized got exposed. The smart contract just kept running. Right? Because it just keeps running. And the centralized entity got exposed for the holes that it had. Right? You understand? Because crap's going to hit the fan. And you don't know what's going behind doors. That's kind of that whole counterpart. You don't know. It's not that it's nefarious or bad intentions, but you don't know what's going on. You don't know about a $100 to $200 million hole, and then what subsequent measures were taken to meet that hole. You don't know about that. And even when I had assets to cover, I had assets on platform to cover potential liquidation. Didn't get access to it. Because there was a controlling entity that controlled the app. You understand? There was a controlling, centralized entity that controlled the app. Couldn't get access to it. Small contract. Got access to it. Oh, met. The other one, oh, email, phone calls. We're working on it. Yep, we know about the app. Yep, well, thanks for getting to us. Nothing will happen. Nothing's gonna happen. And then all of a sudden, in 3:30 in the morning, something happened. That's the difference, right? That's the difference. Share my own personal experience with you guys, so you know. All right. And at Flare, we offer users a different path. The FS systems on Flare is non-custodial, is over-collateralized, bridging XRP, smart contracts, and 4 strict risk controls. And the system is kept honest by independent agents, liquidators, and challengers. Bridging is just the beginning. On Flare, XRP holders can lend. They can borrow. Again, I want to facilitate. Non-custodial. XRP holders can lend. Non-custodial. XRP holders can borrow. Non-custodial. XRP holders can stake and restake and mint synthetic stablecoins. This is XRP 5, a new era of utility for XRP powered by decentralization. Well, what are the risks? There's always a smart contract risk. All the Ethereum blockchain, all the Ethereum projects on Ethereum, all the stuff on Sui has smart contracts. There's always smart contract risk. Did they miss a bug? Did they catch the bug? Did they catch it in time? It's always going to be that. Always going to be that. No matter what. Risk in the code, risk of a bug. Always going to be there. There is no risk. There just isn't. There isn't no risk. Insurance doesn't cover smart contract risk. They can say they cover it. They can say they cover it. But what if you're number 12 or 15 in line of 10 and you're number 15 in line? What if you're number 20 in line of 15? You understand? So, non-custodial, giving you the opportunity to take your stuff and put your stuff back. That's, in my view, the safest play. It's the safest. Does that mean you're responsible for your stuff? Yeah, that means you are responsible for your stuff. Do you want someone else responsible for it? Right? So there it is there. Legendary, there it is, my friend. Trustless is the future. Trustless is the future. I love it. Really? Rick Cisneros says, CJ, in the Mickey B. Fresh Patreon channel, Mickey says perpetual future is one of the keys to the decentralized prime brokers. Really? Really? Perpetual future. But you're talking like perps, right? Hmm. Ask Grok quickly how Flare and Ripple Hidden Roads will benefit from perpetual futures. Perpetual futures. All right, hold on. Let me do something real quick. Hold on, let me do something. Guys, do me a favor and hit that like button. That'd be really, really cool. You know how we do? We always like to have just as many viewers as just as many likes on the videos we have viewers in the stream. It's 300 plus people hanging out. Appreciate you guys checking in for sure. Let me do this. That'd be really, really awesome. It's a bigger deal than what most people are thinking, this hit and roll acquisition. And Monica Long is gleefully smiling and saying there's going to be more when asked in that video. That was pretty cool. All right, so we got it. All right, let me do this. All right, do you have an exact question, Rick? How Flare Networks and Ripple's Hidden Row will benefit from perpetual futures? I don't know if that's going to work, but I'll try. Benefit perpetuals. Futures. Right, you're talking about like the same thing on XDeFi protocol, right? The same thing that XDeFi protocol has on Flare Networks, right? All right. I asked the question. We'll see what. Continuous liquidity and tight spreads. Okay, so. All right. I'll wait for it to finish and I'll share that with you guys. Crypto Insomniac's in the building. What's going on, my friend? Rick Cisnello says, we talk about in the Make It Be Fresh Patreon. So you're part of the Patreon there. You hop on the Zooms and stuff with him. I am not part of that. So I'm going to let I did it with ChatGPT though. So we're going to see how that goes. It's a great question. Let me see what it says. See what it comes up with. See what it comes up with. It doesn't like it when I change the tab before it's done thinking. All right. Is that all of it? Oh my God, it's talking forever here. The world. All right, let me see. I mean, it's got a bunch of stuff here, Rick Cisneros. I mean, what the world? Okay, there's a bunch of stuff here. I'm gonna try to cover some of this. I could do another video on this alone. But perpetual futures or perps have quickly become one of the most liquid, capital efficient derivatives in crypto. Unlike fixed expiry futures, perps trade with no expiration date and use a funding rate mechanism to keep the contract's price tethered to spot. They allow traders to take leveraged longs or short positions 24/7 without ever rolling into a new expiry. For projects and institutional players like Ripple, Hidden Road, and Flare, perps unlock several powerful benefits. All right, so why perps matter in crypto? Continuous liquidity and tight spreads, capital efficiency by way of leverage, effective hedging and risk management tools, funding rate mechanisms as an oracle of sentiment, on-ramp for institutional capital. With that framework in mind, here's how each of our three subjects, Ripple, Hidden Road, and Flare, stands to leverage perpetual futures. Ripple and XRP, cementing XRP as an institutional liquidity hub. Cementing XRP as an institutional liquidity hub. Deepening liquidity for XRP, attracting market makers and proprietary traders. If major exchanges offer an XRP perpetual contract with robust liquidity, market makers will arbitrage between perp, spot, and fixed date futures. This vertical integration drives bid-ask spreads towards zero and significantly boosts XRP's on-chain and off-chain liquidity. Enabling efficient hedging for Ripple's businesses. Ripple, the company, holds large XRP reserves. All right, awesome. Deep market, Ripple can hedge its own exposure, seamlessly locking in the dollar stable value without touching the spot book, which prevents on-chain price. All right, awesome. Driving trading volume and fee revenue. A liquid XRP perp means massive notional volume. Perps often trade 10x spot volume. Perps often trade 10 times the spot volume. As more volume flows, exchanges and liquidity providers earn trading fees. If Ripple runs or partners with venues offering XRP perps, which It's going to happen. Maybe Hidden Road will be the one doing it. I don't know. A Ripple co-branded perpetual on a regulated U.S. venue, in parentheses, via Hidden Road, e.g. a Ripple co-branded perpetual on a regulated U.S. venue by way of Hidden Road. That could generate significant revenue streams. Exchanges and liquidity providers earn trading fees. Significant revenue stream. Broadening use cases for institutional partners. Because perps can be settled in stables like the US dollar coin or the Ripple dollar, or even tokenized USD on XRP Ledger, institutions can route crypto exposure through the XRPL's faster rails. If a hedge fund wants to gain or hedge XRP with 3x leverage, they could open an XRP USDC perp on a Ripple partner venue, settle the margin in Ripple dollar, and then redeploy Ripple dollars into other XRPL DeFi products. And the thing that I love about this so much is this is what Flare is going to be bringing to the regular holders, just regular folks. Right? All right. So enhancing XRP liquidity on the XRP ledger. Building an on-ledger perp AMM or order book. That monster of an AMM, it's undeniable. It's undeniable. The AMM on the XRP. It's undeniable. It's numero uno. Nothing out there like it. Building an on-ledger perp AMM order book. While most perps trade on centralized venues like Deribit or Binance, etc., there's an emerging trend of on-chain perps. DYDX was massively powerful, version 4. If XRPL slant Flare eventually support a decentralized perp protocol, remember, Flare Networks is already building out a decentralized prime brokerage, just so you know. If XRPL slant Flare eventually support a decentralized perp protocol, perhaps via a Flare EVM sidechain, I don't know about Flare EVM sidechain, any XRP holder could open, hedge, or liquidate perp positions directly on chain, paying XRPL's tiny fees instead of paying high centralized exchange fees. Bootstrapping XRPL native derivatives infrastructure. A robust XRP perps creates a flywheel. Deeper perp liquidity leads to more spot liquidity, leads to more on-chain volume. Strong network fees, albeit a fraction of a penny each, equals greater developer infrastructure, or leads to greater developer slant infrastructure investment back into the XRPL. Ripple's upcoming EVM sidechain could host a native perp DEX where collateral is either XRP, a stablecoin like the Ripple dollar, or tokenized assets. Every funding rate settlement, every liquidation generates on-ledger volume. On-ledger volume, and I don't know about the node rewards. Generates on-ledger volume for sure. I don't know what the EVM sidechain is going to be, what that's going to look like. Maybe there will be no rewards. Signaling confidence and institutional adoption, regulated U.S. perp products via Hidden Road. If Hidden Road, Ripple's newly acquired prime broker, lists a fully regulated XRP perp contract under U.S. compliance standards with the FINRA/OCC approval, that's a watershed moment. It signals to pension funds, asset managers, and family offices that XRP has become a safe, capital-efficient instrument for portfolio allocation. Even if U.S. perps trade slightly wider than offshore venues at first, this is to account for regulatory capital costs, the sticker of approval often trumps small price differences, especially for larger ticket holders, more than $1 million. All right, so leveraging the perp data for market insights. Consistently high or negative XRP funding rates help Ripple's internal teams gauge broader market sentiment. If funding flips extremely positive, it could indicate an overheated, bullish market ripe for profit taking. Conversely, persistently negative funding signals might guide treasury managers to prepare for the downtrends. Hidden Road, powering the prime brokerage and perp engine. Hidden Road's acquisition is the linchpin for Ripple's institutional ambitions. Here's how perps accelerate Hidden Road's core value proposition. Offering XRP perps to institutional clients, integrated custody plus perp trading. As a FINRA broker-dealer, Hidden Road can custody clients' assets like fiat stables, XRPL tokens, and at the same time underwrite or place perp futures trades on behalf of clients. Imagine a hedge fund that posts 10 million in tokenized US treasuries by way of standard custody as collateral, and then enters a 5x leverage long on an XRP perp without ever touching a centralized exchange. All settlements, margin calls, and liquidations occur seamlessly between Hidden Road's margin engine, the perp venue, and the XRPL settlement layer. Hidden Road can act as a designated market maker for XRP perps. By leveraging its balance sheet, they could push bid-ask marks tighter, provide two-way quotes, and earn spread. That incentivizes retail and small institutions to flow through Hidden Road, boosting their fee revenue exponentially. Seems like a flywheel is going on here. Hidden Road can offer on-chain margin financing. An institution and client pledges tokenized treasury bills as collateral on the ledger, draws 50% LTV stable coin, like Ripple Dollar, and uses that stable coin to fund a new perp position. Interest funding fees and liquidation fees all flow through Hidden Road's ledger, capturing revenue layers while vanilla centralized exchanges cannot replicate. It's talking about this white label. Because Hidden Road now owns a broker-dealer license, it can partner with niche venues and DeFi protocols to provide a white-labeled XRP perp product. Smaller DEXs, NFT marketplaces, or DeFi aggregators can plug into Hidden Road's order flow, offering perps under their brand, while Hidden Road retains the back-end regulatory compliance and clearing. What? Yeah, so think about that. Smaller DEX, NFT marketplace, or DeFi aggregators can plug into Hidden Road's order flow, offering perps under their brand, while Hidden Road retains the back-end regulatory compliance and clearing. I didn't think about that. Didn't think about that. That's a good one. Cross-asset, synthetic exposure, and yield strategies. Synthetic asset create. That's a big one right there. Because of their broker-dealer license, Hidden Road can partner with niche venues and DeFi protocols to provide a white-labeled XRP perp product. Nice. Synthetic asset creation via the perps. Hidden Road can combine perps with tokenized assets. For example, an institutional client could buy a single instrument that synthetically captures 30% BTC perp, 30% ETH perp, and 40% XRP perps, all collateralized by tokenized treasuries. A lot of stuff here. Leverage yield and carry trades. A lot of nice stuff there. Clients earn fixed yield while economically hedging market exposure. Hidden Road charges a management fee on top of the net carry. Flare Networks, bringing DeFi perps to the F asset universe. Flare Networks with F assets stands to uniquely leverage perp futures in several ways. Native on-chain perps, building a perp protocol in the Flare ecosystem, just as DYDX, perpetual deployed margin engines on Ethereum's L2s. Flare can launch a native DEX perp where users trade FXRP, FBTC, or other F assets against a collateral token like FLR or Flare-backed stablecoin. Because F assets mirror the price of their underlying asset, XRP price on XRPL, but fungible on the EVM, traders can gain perpetual exposure to XRP without ever leaving the Flare network. Traders can gain perpetual exposure to XRP without ever leaving the network. Massively important. Massively important. Flare's integration with Axelar means that a trader on Flare could open a perp while the actual liquidity happens. I don't know about that Axelar thing. Automated hedging because their thing is Layer 0 and Stargate, right? So I don't know about the Axelar thing. But anyway, automated hedging for F asset issuers. Automated hedging. Each F asset pool, a pool that issues FXRP to miners, carries open risk. If XRP price moves, the issuer must rebalance. A native perp allows the issuer to hedge delta exposure automatically, keeping the pool collateralization ratio stable. That cuts down on liquidations and slippage when large amounts of XRP are minted or burnt. Now, leveraging DeFi yield farmers, Flare native yield by integrating perps under the hood, for example, a yield farmer stakes FLR and long FXRP perp. Their net position is 2x leverage exposure to FXRP farm while earning standard FLR staking rewards. Structured products. Flare developers can create structured notes, i.e. 3-month XRP perp with 10% coupon. That payout based on the perp's funding over time. These notes can be tokenized, sold in the secondary market, and settled via smart contracts. You guys get the point, right? Synergies between Ripple, Hidden Road, and Flare. Imagine this end-to-end flow, institutional pool formation. A pension fund partners with Hidden Road to tokenize 100 million in treasuries on the XRP ledger via standard custody. They open a perpetual or perp future position on XRP or FXRP on Flare to gain leverage exposure. On-chain settlement and liquidity, every funding payment, which is hourly every hour, so that perp position is settled in the Ripple dollar or FLR tokens, which flows directly into Flare's liquidity pools, boosting APRs for LPs. Like composable DeFi stacks, cross-chain interoperability amplifies the reach. Hidden Road's ledger tracks each step, collecting fees for custody, perps trading, and origination. XRPL side fees stitch it all together cheaply. Through Axelar, a trader on Avalanche or Polysign can seamlessly bridge to Flare. In short, perps futures becomes the connective tissue that merges institutional capital with DeFi composability, all anchored by the XRP ledger's efficiency and security. Nice. Final thoughts. Perps futures are the lifeblood of a modern crypto liquidity. For Ripple, they deepen XRP's institutional footprint and let Ripple expand and let Ripple manage its on-chain treasury more efficiently. For Hidden Roads, perps become a high-margin revenue source, combining custody margin and derivatives under one roof. And for Flare Networks, perps complete the stack, turning F assets into truly composable cross-chain money market instruments. What emerges is a fully integrated prime brokerage 2.0 plus DeFi 2.0 ecosystems. Nice. There it is, Rick Scenarios. You want it. There you got it. That's the big stuff there. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. That'd be really, really, really cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. That's right. That's why Hugo said the decentralized prime broker is coming. It's coming. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. If you get a chance to do it on the way in, no worries. Just collapse chat. Go smash the like. Come back and hang out with the Crypto Siege and Fanbun Lee. And if you happen to be in that 55% or so people that are hanging out, listening to and watching the Crypto Siege, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I appreciate you guys checking in tonight. It's been a really, really cool hang. Listen, it's Talk That Talk Thursday. And I think You know, as an XRP holder, you got to feel really, really good about yourself. As an FLR holder, you got to feel really, really good about what it is that you hold. I hope you continue to strengthen your resolve. I hope you continue to level up your IQ in the digital asset space and in DeFi and in TradFi so that you know what's working against you. Like if you don't know that you got a 12% hurdle rate, maybe you hang out in 401ks and mutual funds. But if you know that you have that hurdle rate, perhaps you look more into Bitcoin and more into XRP and more into Solana and more into Ethereum because of the net ARR or the CAGR is awesome, baby, with the capital A. It beats anything out there in TradFi. Remember, this is the fastest growing asset class in the history of asset classes. In the history of asset classes. You get a chance to combine that with the leveraging one traditional financial product for immediate and always available access to capital. You put those three together, I'm telling you, it's a home run. It's a home run. All right, fam. I appreciate you guys checking in. It's been a really, really cool hang. Let me see something here. Yeah, been going an hour and a half. I appreciate you guys being in here for sure. Appreciate the likes. That'd be really, really awesome. See if we can't get those likes up to at least 100 likes. That'd be really, really cool. Appreciate you guys being here. As always, I hope this was valuable to you. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all of my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.